Hello everybody, Chewy here. The next couple of salads we're going to make have to deal with cucumbers, as you can see that are on my cutting board. Now, there are different ways and different types of cucumbers. Your regular cucumber has seeds in it, so if you don't like the seeds, you're going to have to cut the cucumbers in half and scoop the seeds out with a spoon. Also, you can mark your cucumbers either with a channel knife, a zester, or a knife. I don't have a channel knife to show you how to make the marks in, but I can show you, let me move those. I can show you how to use a knife, and I can also show you how to use a zester to make the marks in your cucumbers. And I do not need to cut these in half and scoop the seeds out because these are seedless cucumbers, which are a little more expensive than the regular cucumbers are, but it does save you time and it does save you work. And I apologize for the clock going off. So just give me 1 second until it finishes. You know, if you watched my other videos, this did this to me the other day. The clock went off as I was making a video. Maybe I should do it before, a little after the top of the hour. So, this, if you can see it, is a zester. You can use it for zesting, you know, your citrus fruits. But you can also use it, like I said, you can mark your cucumbers with it, or you can use it for other things. So today I'm going to use it to peel some of the skin off of the cucumber, especially if it's a regular cucumber because they have a thicker skin. Also, before you even do that, wash your vegetables. Wash your cucumbers, especially if they're fresh cucumbers from a grocery store or somewhere, because they do have a wax layer on them. These English cucumbers, or seedless cucumbers as they're called, are wrapped in its own cellophane package. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the channel knife and take the end of the cucumber and just slide the channel knife down. Turning it ever so slightly to make the marks. Or if you don't like the skin at all, you can totally peel it off with a vegetable peeler or a knife. Now, as you can see, I went all the way around this cucumber, making the marks of the zester. Now, if I had a channel knife, the marks would be in a V shape going down each section of the cucumber that I would have chosen them in. Now, next I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you sections of it, do it with a knife. So, I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to run it down the skin of the cucumber. And this you don't have to do as much because it does take more of the skin off. But like I said, you can peel the whole cucumber, you can leave some of the skin on. If you want to. But that depends on you. And there is the cucumber that I just cut with some of the skin off with a knife. So, those are two ways, or like I said, you can peel the cucumber totally. So, those are a couple of options you have when using cucumbers in your salads. Like I said, you use a regular cucumber you know, you don't like the seeds. A lot of those recipes will say deseed the cucumber or seedless cucumber. So that way you just take a cucumber, cut it in half, take a spoon, and scoop the seeds out of it. So that's all I want to show you for right now. And I will come back in a couple of minutes and show you the next process. Now, the next step for some of these salads is slicing the cucumbers. And a lot of them will say slice them thin, because then all the liquid or whatever you're putting into it will absorb. And after a while, to make the salad taste better. So either A, you can take it. I usually use a serrated knife, but you can use a chef knife if you feel comfortable, and just slice the cucumber as thin as you possibly can, which you can see on the board what I have. Or you got my favorite tool, move the camera back a little bit for you, which is a mandolin. There are different parts of the mandolin, different types of mandolins. This is just a slicer and a French fry maker. I usually have a lot of slices. This one I bought at Walmart, I think for $30. You put your cucumber in, and there's 3 different levels of how you slice it. You can slice thin, medium, and thick. These recipes call for a thicker cucumber. A thin cucumber, I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to put the cucumber in, and the only thing you have to do is press down. And with it being thin, it's gonna bunch up on you a little bit. But that's what your cucumbers will look like. Nice, thin slices that you can use. So you slice your cucumbers thin, and then you put them in your salads with whatever ingredients. I will show you 3 salads, plus how to make your own dill pickles in this section. So, let me slice my cucumbers, and I will be back with you with the first cucumber salad. Oh, and before I forget, another thing you can use to do it even faster is if you have the slicing blade for a food processor or the KitchenAid, which I have my KitchenAid set up with a slicing wheel on it that'll slice the cucumbers. So those are a couple of options that you can use when slicing the cucumbers up for these salads or any other vegetables that need to be sliced.